What's going on, fellas? It's late. I gotta wake up early, so I'm gonna kind of make it quick. I don't see Clay, don't see Alfred Payton on the slate, so won't be any rants about anybody. Looking at Vegas, I'm seeing Charlotte, Indiana. You know, pretty high total, very close spread. Slated to be a close, high-scoring game. Kemba Walker should be in play. Um, Bucks Raptors. I don't know why they still have Middleton out. I didn't even know he was ever in. But it's whatever. Decent total. Close game here. Washington Heat looks like they're still ravaged. You know we got to see how that shakes out. Houston Brooklyn extremely high total. I mean 226 is extremely high, but it is slated to be a blowout. Houston is slated to destroy these clowns because Brooklyn is Brooklyn. Trailblazers, Clippers. High total, slated to be a not so close game. Blake should be playing. I'm gonna say it now. Fade Damian Lillard. You just fade Dame against the Clippers because he never hits value. So why would you take someone that never hits value against a certain team and a certain player? Just fade Dame. And if he goes off, he goes off. Just fade him. He's not gonna go off. Just fade him. I've said that here. Kings Lakers. This should be an interesting game. A lot of players. People coming back, people on minutes restrictions, et cetera. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Let's watch those spread. Dallas Nuggets. I don't know what the hell. I don't know about Dirk, Seth. A couple of guys that are hurt. I think Wilson Chandler has a questionable tag for Denver. So let's dig into the games, players. I'm not gonna spend too much time. I can. I don't know. I don't care. 7 games. Start building my lineup. Um, Immediately, point guard. Of course, James Harden jumps out. I mean, he's James Harden. Um, you know how I feel about studs on DraftKings. They're just extremely expensive, and they need to do a lot to get what you want. On a normal slate, you're looking for 5x. In this particular case, this makes him 57 points to hit value. I mean, he can do it. He probably will do it, but that's just a lot. It's almost like you need this. You need him to hit 60 to be happy with that. If you're putting them in GPPs, looking for 6x or better, you're looking for basically 68, 70 points. That's a lot of damn points to one. I'm good. Wall versus Miami, they defend well, run a kind of a slow pace or whatever the case. Whatever. Fade Dame, fade Dame, fade Dame. Chris Paul, he's Chris Paul. He's gonna eat. Dame can't defend shit. Chris Paul. He's a little expensive. I see Lowry against a team that really can't defend point guards. 8,100. I don't know why his price is so low for what he's been doing. What the hell? I've been taking Lowry the past week and has been very happy. 53, 49, 44, 42, 42, 49, 44, 39, 33 against Beverly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just, okay. Sign me up. Like, what the fuck? What am I thinking about? But I always go down once I plug in. I always go down to see if there's someone else that jumps out at me. Deron Williams, interesting. His price actually dropped. He's going against Denver. I don't know if that's because someone's coming back. You know, this performance doesn't really hurt my opinion too much. He shot poorly. It was a blowout. I don't know what the situation was or if he just gave up, whatever the case. Tyler Johnson's definitely interesting because, like I said, him and Dragic are the only guys that can dribble on that team. I think Richardson's coming back though, so that's interesting. Pat Beverly, he's decent. But I'm gonna lock in Kyle Lowry because it's a cash game lineup, and I feel as if he can hit 40 points in his sleep against Milwaukee. Do I need to say anything else? Shooting guard, of course, Harden. DeRozan, his price is dropping because the performance is dropping. So I'm gonna take a look at. I might go ahead and stay away for now. Just until hopefully his price drops a little more. Because if I can get DeMar at like 73, 74, when everyone's off of him, boom. Lil Williams, I mean, he's been on a tear. I just can't pay 7,400 for a scoring dependent bench player. I can't do it, especially with players coming back. Russell's coming back. Nick Young's coming back. Those are minutes, shots, usage coming away from Lou Williams. No, when I can pay 300 more for DeRozan, like why would you take Lou Williams? I know he's hot, but come on, bro, I'm good. If I'm paying this price range, I'm getting DeMar, and I'm shedding 300 elsewhere. Batum, I mean, he's been on a tear. Like I said, this is a close game, very high total. Definitely something interesting to look at. I'm also going to take a look at Wesley Matthews, though. I do feel that someone's going to lose their job soon at DraftKings because for some reason his price is only going up fractionally, um, and that's not okay. That's just not okay. I mean, he's the number two option on a bad team, and I mean he's getting mid 30 minutes. He's getting hella shots, and he's just doing shit like he's eating. So I'm not understanding why his price is only going up incrementally, but until he gets to a range where he's worthy to fade, I'm gonna take him. Unless somebody's coming back that hasn't been here that will affect that, I'm gonna go ahead and plug him in because it's a cash game lineup. I feel as if he can get 28 points. I'm okay with that. Of course, I'm seeking like 5.5x, to shore up the cash games. But you want to shoot for 5x as your benchmark. You really don't want a guy that you don't think can get 5x. So that's where the 5x comes from. Other guys, whatever, Kilpatrick, whatever. I got who I want at shooting guard, so I don't even know why I'm looking, but Magruder, whatever. Skip. Small forward. Not understanding why this guy's so cheap. Like I said, high total, close game. He's definitely intriguing. I might definitely come back to him. I'm gonna scan for some value because I see a red Q right here for Chandler. So when Chandler has a red Q, he shoots hella shots, gets nice chunk of minutes, gets boards. That has to go somewhere if he doesn't play. So it's probably gonna go here, or it's gonna go here. This guy's cheaper. He's been eating with Chandler in, so without Chandler in, I, I I can't not plug in Gallinari. So for the time being, I'm gonna plug in Gallinari, hoping and banking that Chandler is out. Because he didn't leave the game. He was held out. Of Saturday's game. So it's the first look. Obviously, Gallinari is gonna be plugged in here because in my opinion, if Chandler's out, he's a lock, and Barton is nearly a lock. But of course, Wesley Matthews cheaper than Barton, so where I'm going there. Power forward, Boogie. Whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and lecture about Boogie. He's fucking Boogie. Blake Griffin. He's Blake Griffin. He is still too cheap. I think he should automatically be 9K or better just from talent alone. He's been on the end of a lot of blowouts. His minutes has been getting, shaved in those blowouts. This game right here, he missed 15 shots. He shot 25%. That's not going to happen. At 8,300, he's putting up 57, 50. And he's putting up 37 in the blowout game where they blew out Cleveland. This was a blowout, but what the hell, 91 to 70? It's like 1972, put up 30. So the games that he's not producing in, for the most part, are like blowout games where his minutes are cut or maybe his effort is cut while he's playing. So at this price range, he's too cheap. I'm not going to plug him in because I don't like blowing my salary in my starting five, as you know. At least I try not to. But, nothing wrong with Blake Griffin. He's Blake Griffin. Too cheap. Randall, Sacramento doesn't defend bigs well because I actually watch Boogie play, and he just sits there and lets centers get offensive rebounds and putbacks every so often. He just literally has a lack of effort. I think Randall has been, eating right around that 30-point range, 30, low 30s, mid 30s, the range where you would want him. Speaking of first and second options to Dallas, this is your first option to Dallas. Granted, it was a horrible free agent signing because Harrison Barnes is who we thought he was. Dallas, it seemed like they signed a player thinking he was going to become a different player. In reality, he is who he is. When you're signing a free agent, you need to sign him knowing who he is. Dallas signed him hoping he would be something else. So that's just that. Bad free agent acquisition. Good DFS play. He just gets, him and Matthews are just getting the usage. I know Duran's coming back and it's taking that away from them, but, him and Matthews are still pretty much first and second option. It's a cash game, so I'm looking for safety. So it's one of those situations where if the first guy doesn't go off, you would think the second guy goes off or a split. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if one wide receiver, if the quarterback's doing well, one wide receiver is not eating, the other wide receiver is probably eating. So it's a situation where I would be okay, playing Barnes and Cash, Barnes and Matthews together, because they're kind of too cheap. Um, they're less than 12K combined, so I need a combined 60 points from them both you know, to hit what I need in cash. I'm okay with that logic. I mean, I'm okay with that. You understand? It is a lot of players in this game, which is probably going to be an ugly game from Vegas standpoint. But I'm looking at usage. If I'm looking at his guy, his what's the word? His cuff is questionable, and these two guys are option one and option two at this price. What option one and option two on the team are this cheap together outside of Philly? And even Philly, but you understand? You feel what I'm saying? I mean, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, option one and two, are 15,800, almost 16,000. Name any option one or option two on the team, and find me a pair that's that cheap, being the top two options on the team. That's what I'm getting at. You'll be hard pressed to do so. Hard pressed. Maybe outside the Lakers, maybe because everyone's on their team except Lou Williams is under 6,500, and Lou Williams was for a long time. But you get the point. Like what you can't you just can't find that bargain on a lot of teams. And I'm okay with firing them up. Always scroll down and see if something else jumps out at me. Marvin Williams, he's back, but is he really back? Is he really back? Kaminsky, no, I don't really want too much of the Charlotte big situation. It is all meant to me. Somehow Sam Decker became a power forward overnight. His minutes are a little bit too inconsistent for me. I can't gauge him. 23-15, 23-18, mid 20s. Like I'm not playing this game with Houston. It could be an interesting game to play him in because it's slated to be a blowout, and he may get some extra burn. But I'm not going to trust that in my cash game and rely on Houston blowing out a team in order to play him, even at his price. I'm just not. If that makes sense. So whatever. Some interesting guys here. That whatever you done for me, bro. Dirt. I mean, whatever, dude. Just retire or just go to Cleveland. Like, even when you're here, like, what do you do? Like, you did that one game, and where have you been, bro? Just go to Cleveland, play with LeBron, get a ring, and retire and go to the Hall of Fame. That's your destiny, bro. Because I'm a fan of you, Dirt. So whatever. I know I just did a little Dirt rant. I know. And Rudy Gay, he gets usage. He's second option on the Kings. Randall, like I said, he's definitely a good play. But for now, I'm gonna stick with this as a first look. And see what goes. Center, Whiteside, tremendous upside. Definitely GPP upside. I'm not okay playing him in cash. Too many letdowns. Let down. Whoa. You know what I mean? Let down. Whoa. Let down. Like I can't. Like if I can't, I can't. That's like 5 duds in the past 10 games. I can't trust you in cash. I want to trust you in cash because you have the upside to, take down a GPP at your price point. You understand? He has 60 upside. That's 7 plus X. 7X plus, you know what I mean? But I'm okay in cash. Boogie, he's Boogie. I'm not gonna sit here and give you any reason not to play Boogie. He's fucking DeMarcus Cousins. He's the best big man in the game. Fuck. If you want to play him. Like, Plumlee, I do know DeAndre, for some reason, he can't defend centers. The fact that he's an excellent defender, shit, it fucking baffles me. He's an excellent defender, but he can't defend his position. He's had a couple of down games. Memphis, Indy. But he's he's on the cusp of a cash game play. I do like his matchup. You know, but I'm going to target this guy. He's a little cheaper. He's in a game that's going to be extremely high paced. Should be an up and down game. He's cheap enough that all he needs is 26 points to hit value. I mean, I'm okay with locking him in. He should get a lot of rebounds, maybe some putbacks, a couple of fluke layups. I mean, he's gonna, he should get his. So I'm okay with plugging him in and getting a piece of that Houston game. You know me. This is a little bit low for what I like, but that's because I had this guy locked in. So usually I try to find value here. So I go to forward. Try to find some value. Under the cups, under the price point. Uh, hmm. No, you know what? I don't have a piece of this game right here. Batum, he's been eating. I think he had maybe a dud or two. But let's take a look at the dud. I mean, he was probably being defended by LeBron, who was out of his mind, and he probably had to defend LeBron, who played out of his mind. I mean, if LeBron's going to sit here and drop 44 points and score 79 DraftKings points or 70 DraftKings points or whatever the case, I'm probably not going to want to do much anyway, either. So I'm not going to, of course you hold it against him. I'm not going to hold it against him for this purpose. He's too cheap. He's too cheap. He does everything. All three of the main stat categories he does. Sometimes a lot, but I'm not expecting this big rebound number. But he's gonna get his middle single digit rebounds, middle single digit assists. Plus whatever points he's gonna pour in because he's gonna get the shots, over 10 shots a game. So I don't. His last dud was against what? Memphis. Come on, bro. Tony Allen was probably checking him. So why would you not fire him up in cash confidently? I feel good about it. Try to find a little bit of value at guard in order to free up, some options at utility. You know, Duran, interesting play, but I got too much of that Dallas. Not doing that much. Gordon's definitely interesting. Typically, I do hate playing shooting guards in the guard spot, but I mean, I mean, 26 point. 26, 226. Somebody's got to eat. Somebody's got to eat. Speaking of eating, his counterpart right here is cheaper. I mean, if you want to look, he's been eating. He's been doing this. He's aggressive on the boards. Getting his buckets, getting a few points. Getting some steals. He's a great defender, so he's going to be on the court. Defending whomever. I'm okay plugging him or Gordon, essentially, depending on what you want to do. Leave me 7,700 for my utility. Of course, I go right to that price point because I want to see. So, right here I can see if I want to plug in George, and downgrade elsewhere. I just don't really see much that I would want to downgrade at this moment, except maybe center. If you want to get George, you could just go ahead and get one of the Bucks brothers who's been, dominating lately inside. And you get one of them over Capella, plug in Paul George. I'm just not touching this up here right now. If you're scared of Barnes, you want to downgrade Barnes. Maybe Keith, maybe. But for the time being, I'm going to rock with the 77. Kemba is questionable. He says probable. High pace, high total, close game. Fourth quarter is Kemba's quarter. I would be all the way on board playing Kemba, especially, even with Batum, because like I said, it's safety. So it's like if Batum's not getting the buckets, Kemba's probably getting the buckets and vice versa. So from a safety standpoint, Kemba will be okay. Well, look, same goes for this guy with his counterpart. These two guys are Toronto. They are Toronto. If you don't believe me, 25, 20, and 23. 18, 14, 14. That's like what? That's like 42 plus shots a game between the two. So it's like if one doesn't eat a lot, the other one should pick up that slack, and vice versa. And there's a chance that they both go off. So for the sake of this first look, for the sake of cash games, I'm completely okay with playing either one of these, even though I have, someone else on that team that's a big option. I'm all the way on board with playing DeRozan because I feel good, especially at this price point. Now it's to the point where even if he gives you, one of those 32-point games. It's not a complete crusher. Like I said, this game against Boston. Well, not like I said, I didn't say it, but this game against Boston. This was Avery Bradley defense. I mean, if you're gonna, it's Avery Bradley defense. Whatever, Avery Bradley is a monster defensively. This game right here was a fucking blowout. They won by like 69 points. Like, we got 31. This game right here was a fucking blowout. They won by like a million points, 33. So yeah, his production has been falling up 30 points. Oh wait, why? Because they won by a million points. So his price is dropping. But is it because his is it because his numbers are only dropping, or is it because his production is dropping? Like him as a player. Him as a player isn't. He's not like becoming a worse player or worse DFS player. But they're destroying teams, and that's hurting him. Granted, they are slated to win by double digits, but you know he's coming down to a price where it's not going to kill you if he gets that 32, 33. It's 4x and it's going to be annoying as shit. But his price, you got to catch these prices. Him at this price point is too low for him being who he is. He's 300 more than Lou Williams. And you know what I said about Lou Williams. He's a scoring dependent bench player. And DeRozan is only 300 more. And he's a high volume, high usage starter. That's the number 1A option on the team. So that's my reasoning for being completely on board with plugging in DeRozan. Because his price is dropping. So now it's like you're getting a value, you're getting a discount on on who he really is. This is who he really is price wise. Like he's really a mid 8K player. You're getting a discount. Take the discount. All of these players right here are essentially discounted players. Players that probably should be priced more. Most of these players should be priced more. So it's almost like you're stealing value with this lineup. So if you go through the lineup, there should be no one in this lineup that you really have a question about. Maybe except for Beverly, because he's not that adept offensively. But like I said, you got options. You can always just go. You can always go, go Gordon, just in case you were scared. You know what I mean? Or even if you want to just pivot and do a similar lineup, but just get a piece of Gordon, just just to get a different piece of that game. You know what I mean? You can go Gordon. And if you don't like the Rose because you got Kyle Lowry, you can just get Mr. Usage himself. One of the two guys that can dribble the ball for Miami going against Washington at 72. So it's like, so you don't, so now you don't have the two Toronto guys. You don't have the two Charlotte guys. You don't have Beverly, who's Beverly, and you still got some pieces of this game. You still got your high usage player. You still got your guy who should get increased minutes if his guy is out. You have Mr. been on fire and it's too cheap. And you have Mr. who the hell else is going to move the ball for this team. So you can go either way. I don't even know which way I want to go. I kind of like this way also. Like, damn, I'm kind of happy with this myself. I might just run this as my main cash and use the other one as my secondary. But you can go a lot of ways. It's just options. So that's my first look. Enjoy it and good luck.